I'm here to basically talk about how to get your signals, your eating signals, back on track.
God is love. Love is power.
Hello, my loves. Today I'm going to be discussing controlling our food intake, at the same time controlling our weight. I want us to go back to the natural signal that God gave us at birth. Remember when our children were babies? Those pains, some of these kids would cry like they were about to die. That real intense crying because you're not hurrying up to bring them their bottle. Remember, they had no patience, but of course they were hungry. And when you fed them, they sat there and they played with their little feet at that time. I'm enjoying this. And when they had enough, they would turn their head, and you tried to stick that nipple back in their mouth and they would turn their head. I had enough. They're obeying that God-given signal, which is perfect. Once you're born, it's set and it's perfect. Now, you never truly lose that signal, but as you get older, you start picking up other man-made rules to cover up that signal. See, God basically gave us eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. He didn't say don't eat this many grams of fat and weigh this amount of beef and weigh this amount of chicken and this is how much you eat during the week or whatever. He didn't give us all that. He gave us a signal that made us have common sense to just stop when you're full, eat when you're hungry.
There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. If any man hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he said unto them, Are ye so without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entering into the man, it cannot defile him, because it enters not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats. And he said, That which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
I've been sharing this one little principle about eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And whenever I share this, people always respond with, that makes sense. And they go off and try it. So I figured I'll do it here on YouTube. But again, I'm telling you, this idea or this method came from a professional dietitian who discovered these things, and she went back to God and got information from God on how to deal with obesity. So I'm here to basically talk about how to get your signals, your eating signals, back on track. I remember one time I was watching a mukbang, and I think it was Hungry Fat Chick. I think it was either her or what's the other lady's name? Chantel, Foodie Beauty. Right. And one of them made a statement and said, I'm sorry that I'm probably triggering your hunger. I'm triggering your hunger. And when she said that to me, that made me stop watching mukbangs, because what I realized that I was doing was I was violating my true signal in myself to stop when I'm full and eat when I'm hungry. And you said, well, what does that have to do with watching other people do this. I mean, you're not the one doing it. They're the one overeating, but you're taking pleasure in watching other people doing things to abuse themselves in a way that God didn't make for them to abuse themselves. And you can't take pleasure in another person's tragedy, because many of those mukbangers, excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, but many of the mukbangers on YouTube are 400 plus pounds. You shouldn't be doing no mukbang. I'm sorry. You should be learning how to control your signal. You should be using what God gave you, and you've put that to sleep, and you need to wake that up. But anyway, your stomach hunger, the signal for your stomach hunger is an empty, hollow, burning sensation, which may be followed by a growl. And you know your stomach is located a little bit above your waist but below your rib cage. And so she's saying don't get that growling confused with your natural, don't get it with abdominal noises. Don't get it confused with abdominal noises. And so that's like up in this area here. So, and I really believe that we all know the difference by now between when we're truly hungry versus when we just want something to eat. Because I know the difference from me when I do that. Because I still sometimes do that. And so anyway, now what you're going to do is, in order to get your true hunger and fullness signal back, is you're going to go without food until that hunger signal strikes again. And many of you, it's been so long since you've allowed that to happen that, I don't know, it might seem like some people it might take 4 hours. Some people it might take 6 hours. Some people it might take a couple of days before that stomach hunger comes in. I'm telling you for real. I think the first time I tried it, I started like a day. I picked a day and I said, I'm not going to eat until my stomach growls. And I think I went 2 days without eating, until waiting on my stomach to growl or signal to me to eat. 2 days. And so that's what you do. I mean, you don't eat until your stomach growls. That's the first round you starting this, gaining your hunger signal back. Don't eat until your stomach growl. It's nothing to do with you're going to eat lunch at 12 noon or 1 p.m. You don't have, actually, there's no specific time to eat. There's no law that says you must eat at 12 o'clock lunch. You must eat dinner at 5 or 6 o'clock. Who gave that law? Or they tell you should eat breakfast early in the morning. Well, I was never a breakfast eater. And when I read this, I was so pleased, because I really didn't like breakfast. I didn't feel hungry at breakfast time. You know what I mean? I would eat just because someone told me I need to put a piece of energy in me in order to get through the day. But I really wasn't hungry. So I should have been following my innate signal over what somebody else said I should be doing in order to get satisfaction, or to reach my ultimate. That's the goal is to reach my ultimate, to be able to maximize what I'm able to do. Don't be surprised if you're quickly satisfied off of a little bit of food in the beginning. And the reason is because your body, most of us, our body has stored fat. And the body is trying to utilize that fuel and burn that up before you start putting in more fuel. And that's why you get fuller quicker. And so you might eat a half a bowl of cereal or something like that, and you've had enough. Listen to the body. You've had enough. Waiting for true stomach hunger is a way of trusting that your body knows when it has too much fuel in reserve. Yes, it's trusting your body. Look, your body might not be crying for you to eat lunch. In fact, your body might be crying for you to skip lunch. I want to burn this fuel that you already have here. There's not going to be no bodily reaction, no bad reaction to that. Now, I do have to stress this. If you are on medication and you have to take medication with food on your stomach, eat some crackers or something. Drink some milk or eat some crackers. Coat your stomach before taking the medication. It shouldn't harm you in any other way. But before you start gaining your signal back, you should talk to your physician. Okay, it says here that head hunger is going to food when you are stressed, angry, bored, sad, lonely, happy, celebrating, just because it smells good, looks good, or just because it's there. It includes eating past full just because food is still on your plate. It includes eating according to the clock despite the hunger signal. So anyway, and as to the point of exercise, here's what Mrs. Shamblin says. Do it if you like. Don't do it if you like. Your goal is to get your focus off of food. And if you're weighing food, and I got this particular diet going on, and I'm about to do this, you're not getting your mind off of food. You're getting your focus on food. I need to eat this much chicken, and this much vegetables, and this much. Eat whatever you like. This is what she teaches. Eat whatever you like. Stop when you're full. Eat when you're hungry. That's all the rules you need to know. Those are the only rules that God gave us. See, you know what we're going to find out? We're going to find out that God has freed us from so many of these man-made rules, that most of these rules that we've been abiding by most of our lives has been man-made rules who tell us you should eat at 12, you should eat dinner at 6, this is best if you eat breakfast, it's best if you do this and you don't do this, or you eat low grams of this and low fat of that and low so. I'm sorry. I'm not going into detail about that. But anyway, do what you like, but I hope that you would at least get your true signal back. Get your true food signal back. Get your natural signals back from God to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full.
Hi guys, would you like to share how long it took for your physiological hunger to kick in? Comment down below so we can compare results.